Welcome friends, this is a new session on the course School Organization, Administration and Management. The session includes benefits of yoga and guidelines for yogic practices. One, it improves your flexibility. Improved flexibility is one of the first and most obvious benefits of yoga. During your first class, you probably won't be able to touch your toes. Never mind, do a back bend. But if you stick with it, you'll notice a gradual loosening and eventually seemingly impossible poses will become possible. You'll also probably notice that aches and pains start to disappear. That's no coincidence. Tight hips can strain the knee joint due to improper alignment of the thigh and shin bones. Tight hamstrings can lead to a flattening of the lumbar spine, which can cause back pain. And inflexibility in muscles and connective tissues such as fascia and ligaments can cause poor posture. The second one, it builds muscle strength. Strong muscles do more than look good. They also protect us from conditions like arthritis and back pain and help prevent falls in elderly people. And when you build strength through yoga, you balance it with flexibility. If you just went to the gym and lifted weights, you might build strength at the expense of flexibility. Third, it perfects your posture. Your head is like a bowling ball, big, round and heavy. When it's balanced directly over an erect spine, it takes much less work for your neck and back muscles to support it. Move it several inches forward, however, and you start to strain those muscles. Hold up that forward-leaning bowling ball for 8 or 12 hours a day, and it's no wonder you are tired. And fatigue might not be your only problem. Poor posture can cause back, neck and other muscle and joint problems. As you slump, your body may compensate by flattening the normal inward curves in your neck and lower back. This can cause pain and degenerative arthritis of the spine. Fourth, it prevents cartilage and joint breakdown. Each time you practice yoga, you take your joints through their full range of motion. This can help prevent degenerative arthritis or mitigate disability by squeezing and soaking areas of cartilage that normally aren't used. Joint cartilage is just like a sponge. It receives fresh nutrients only when its fluid is squeezed out and a new supply can be soaked up. Without proper sustenance, neglected areas of cartilage can eventually wear out, exposing the underlying bone-like worn-out brake pads. Fifth, it protects your spine. Spinal disc, the shock absorbers between the vertebrae that can herniate and compress nerves, crave movement. That's the only way they get their nutrients. If you have got a well-balanced asana practice with plenty of back bends, forward bends and twists, you will help keep your discs supple. Sixth is it betters your bone health. It's well documented that weight-bearing exercise strengthens bones and helps ward off osteoporosis. Many postures in yoga require that you lift your own weight. And some, like downward and upward facing dog, help strengthen the arm bones, which are particularly vulnerable to osteoporotic fractures. In an unpublished study conducted at California State University, Los Angeles, yoga practice increased bone density in the vertebrae. Yoga's ability to lower levels of stress hormone cortisol may help keep calcium in the bones. Seventh, it increases your blood flow. Yoga gets your blood flowing. More specifically, the relaxation exercises you learn in yoga can help your circulation, especially in your hands and feet. Yoga also gets more oxygen to your cells, which function better as a result. Twisting poses are thought to wring out venous blood from internal organs and allow oxygenated blood to flow in once the twist is released. Inverted poses such as headstand, handstand and shoulder stand encourage venous blood from the legs and pelvis to flow back to the heart, where it can be pumped to the lungs to be freshly oxygenated. This can help if you have swelling in your legs from heart or kidney problems. Yoga also boosts levels of hemoglobin and red blood cells, which carry oxygen to the tissues. And it thins the blood by making platelets less sticky and by cutting the level of clot promoting proteins in the blood. This can lead to a decrease in heart attacks and strokes, since blood clots are often the cause of these killers. 8th, it drains your lymph and boosts immunity. When you contract and stretch muscles, move organs around and come in and out of yoga postures, you increase the drainage of lymph. It's a viscous fluid rich in immune cells. This helps the lymphatic system fight infection, destroy cancerous cells and dispose of the toxic waste products of cellular functioning. 9th, it ups your heart rate. When you regularly get your heart rate into the aerobic range, you lower your risk of heart attack and can relieve depression. While not all yoga is aerobic, if you do it vigorously or take flow or Ashtanga classes, it can boost your heart rate into the aerobic range. But even yoga exercise that don't get your heart rate up that high can improve cardiovascular conditioning. Studies have found that yoga practice lowers the resting heart rate, increases endurance and can improve your maximum uptake of oxygen during exercise, all reflections of improved aerobic conditioning. One study found that subjects who were taught only pranayama could do more exercise with less oxygen. 11th, it regulates your adrenal glands. Yoga lowers cortisol levels. If that doesn't sound like much, consider this. Normally, the adrenal glands secrete cortisol in response to an acute crisis, which temporarily boosts immune function. If your cortisol levels stay high even after the crisis, they can compromise the immune system. Temporary boosts of cortisol help with long-term memory, but chronically high levels undermine memory and may lead to permanent changes in the brain. Additionally, excessive cortisol has been linked with major depression, osteoporosis. It extracts calcium and other minerals from bones and interferes with the laying down of new bones, high blood pressure and insulin resistance. In rats, high cortisol levels lead to what researchers call food-seeking behavior, the kind that drives you to eat when you are upset, angry or stressed. The body takes those extra calories and distributes them as fat in the abdomen, contributing to weight gain and the risk of diabetes and heart attack. 12. Founds a healthy lifestyle. Move more, eat less. That's the adage of many a dieter. Yoga can help on both fronts. A regular practice gets you moving and burn calories, and the spiritual and emotional dimensions of your practice may encourage you to address any eating and weight problems on a deeper level. Yoga may also inspire you to become a more conscious eater. 13th, it lowers blood sugar. Yoga lowers blood sugar level and LDL cholesterol and boosts HDL or the good cholesterol. In people with diabetes, yoga has been found to lower blood sugar in several ways. By lowering cortisol and adrenaline levels, encouraging weight loss and improving sensitivity to the effects of insulin. Get your blood sugar levels down and you decrease your risk of diabetic complications such as heart attack, kidney failure and blindness. 14th, it helps you focus. An important component of yoga is focusing on the present. Studies have found that regular yoga practice improves coordination, reaction time, memory, and even IQ scores. People who practice transcendental meditation demonstrate the ability to solve problems and acquire and recall information better, probably because they are less distracted by their thoughts, which can play over and over like an endless tape loop. 15th, it relaxes your system. Yoga encourages you to relax, slow your breath and focus on the present, shifting the balance from the sympathetic nervous system or the fight or flight response to the parasympathetic nervous system. The latter is calming and restorative. It lowers breathing and heart rates, decreases blood pressure and increases blood flow to the intestines and reproductive organs, comprising what Herbert Benson, MD, calls the relaxation response. 16th, it improves your balance. Regularly practicing yoga increases proprioception, or the ability to feel what your body is doing and where it is in space, and improves balance. People with bad posture or dysfunctional movement patterns usually have poor proprioception, which has been linked to knee problems and back pain. Better balance could mean fewer falls. For the elderly, this translates into more independence and delayed admission to a nursing home or even never entering one at all. For the rest of us, postures like tree pose can make us feel less wobbly on and off the mat. 17. It maintains your nervous system. Some advanced yogis can control their bodies in extraordinary ways, many of which are mediated by the nervous system. Scientists have monitored yogis who could induce unusual heart rhythms, generate specific brainwave patterns, and using a meditation technique raise the temperature of their hands by 15 degrees Fahrenheit. If they can use yoga to do that, perhaps you could learn to improve blood flow to your pelvis if you are trying to get pregnant or induce relaxation when you are having trouble falling asleep. 18th one, it releases tension in your limbs. Do you ever notice yourself holding the telephone or a steering wheel with a death grip, or scrunching your face when staring at a computer screen? These unconscious habits can lead to chronic tension, muscle fatigue, and soreness in the wrists, arms, shoulders, neck, and face, which can increase stress and worsen your mood. As you practice yoga, you begin to notice where you hold tension. It might be in your tongue, your eyes, or the muscles of your face and neck. If you simply tune in, you may be able to release some tension in the tongue and your eyes. With bigger muscles like the quadriceps, trapezius, and buttocks, it may take years of practice to learn how to relax them. 21. It helps you sleep deeper. Stimulation is good, but too much of it taxes the nervous system. Yoga can provide relief from the hustle and bustle of modern life. Restorative asana, yoga nidra, a form of guided relaxation, shavasana, pranayama, and meditation encourage pratyahara, a turning inward of the senses which provides downtime for the nervous system. Another byproduct of a regular yogic practice, studies suggest, is better sleep, which means you will be less tired and stressed and less likely to have accidents. 22nd, it boosts your immune system functionality. Asanas and pranayama probably improve immune function, but so far meditation has the strongest scientific support in this area. It appears to have a beneficial effect on the functioning of the immune system, boosting it when needed. For example, raising antibody levels in response to a vaccine and lowering it when needed. For instance, mitigating an inappropriately aggressive immune function in an autoimmune disease like psoriasis. 23rd, it gives your lungs room to breathe. Yogis tend to take fewer breaths of greater volume, which is both calming and more efficient. A 1998 study published in The Lancet taught a yogi technique known as complete breathing to people with lung problems due to congestive heart failure. After 1 month, their average respiratory rate decreased from 13.4 breaths per minute to 7. 24th, it gives you peace of mind. Yoga quells the fluctuations of the mind according to Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. In other words, it slows down the mental loops of frustration, regret, anger, fear, and desire that can cause stress. And since stress is implicated in so many health problems, from migraines and insomnia to lupus, MS, eczema, high blood pressure, and heart attacks. If you learn to quiet your mind, you will be likely to live longer and healthier. 25th, it increases self-esteem. Many of us suffer from chronic low self-esteem. If you handle this negatively, take drugs, overeat, work too hard, sleep around, you may pay the price in poorer health physically, mentally, and spiritually. If you take a positive approach and practice yoga, you will sense, initially in brief glimpses and later in more sustained views, that you are worthwhile, or as yogic philosophy teaches, that you are a manifestation of the divine. If you practice regularly with an intention of self-examination and betterment, not just as a substitute for an aerobics class, you can access a different side of yourself. You will experience feelings of gratitude, empathy, and forgiveness, as well as a sense that you are part of something bigger. While better health is not the goal of spirituality, it is often a byproduct, as documented by repeated scientific studies. 26th, it eases your pain. Yoga can ease your pain. According to several studies, asana, meditation, or a combination of the two reduced pain in people with arthritis, back pain, fibromyalgia, carpal tunnel syndrome, and other chronic conditions. When you relieve your pain, your mood improves. You are more inclined to be active, and you don't need as much medication. 27th, it gives you inner strength. Yoga can help you make changes in your life. In fact, that might be its greatest strength. Tapas, the Sanskrit word for heat, is a fire, the discipline that fuels yoga practice and that regular practice builds. The tapas you develop can be extended to the rest of your life to overcome inertia and change dysfunctional habits. You may find that without making a particular effort to change things, you start to eat better, exercise more, or finally quit smoking after years of failed attempts. 28th, it connects you with guidance. Good yoga teachers can do wonders for your health. Exceptional ones do more than guide you through the postures. They can adjust your posture, gauge when you should go deeper in poses or back off, deliver hard truths with compassion, help you relax and enhance and personalize your practice. A respectful relationship with a teacher goes a long way toward promoting your health. 29. It helps keep you drug free. If your medicine cabinet looks like a pharmacy, maybe it's time to try yoga. Studies of people with asthma, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, formerly called adult onset diabetes, and obsessive compulsive disorder have shown that yoga helped them lower their dosage of medications and sometimes get them off entirely. The benefits of taking fewer drugs: you'll spend less money and you are less likely to suffer side effects and risk dangerous drug interactions. 30. It builds awareness for transformation. Yoga and meditation build awareness, and the more aware you are, the easier it is to break free of destructive emotions like anger. Studies suggest that chronic anger and hostility are as strongly linked to heart attacks as are smoking, diabetes, and elevated cholesterol. Yoga appears to reduce anger by increasing feelings of compassion and interconnection and by calming the nervous system and the mind. It also increases your ability to step back from the drama of your own life, to remain steady in the face of bad news or unsettling events. You can still react quickly when you need to, and there is evidence that yoga speeds reaction time, but you can take that split second to choose a more thoughtful approach, reducing suffering for yourself and others. 31. It benefits your relationships. Love may not conquer all, but it certainly can aid in healing. Cultivating the emotional support of friends, family, and community has been demonstrated repeatedly to improve health and healing. A regular yoga practice helps develop friendliness, compassion, and greater equanimity. Along with yoga philosophy's emphasis on avoiding harm to others, telling the truth, and taking only what you need, this may improve many of your relationships. 32. It uses sounds to soothe your sinuses. The basics of yoga, asana, pranayama, and meditation all work to improve your health, but there is more in yoga in the toolbox. Consider chanting. It tends to prolong exhalation, which shifts the balance toward the parasympathetic nervous system. When done in a group, chanting can be a particularly powerful physical and emotional experience. 33. It guides your body's healing in your mind's eye. If you contemplate an image in your mind's eye, as you do in yoga nidra and other practices, you can effect change in your body. Several studies have found that guided imagery reduced post-operative pain, decreased the frequency of headaches, and improved the quality of life for people with cancer and HIV. 34. It keeps allergies and viruses at bay. Kriyas or cleansing practices are another elements of yoga. They include everything from rapid breathing exercises to elaborate internal cleansings of the intestines. Jalaneti, which entails a gentle lavage of the nasal passages with salt water, removes pollen and viruses from the nose, keeps mucus from building up, and helps drain the sinuses. 35. It helps you serve others. Karma yoga or service to others is integral to yogic philosophy. And while you may not be inclined to serve others, your health might improve if you do. A study at the University of Michigan found that older people who volunteered a little less than an hour per week were 3 times as likely to be alive 7 years later. Serving others can give meaning to your life, and your problems may not seem so daunting when you see what other people are dealing with. 36. It encourages self-care. In much of conventional medicine, most patients are passive recipients of care. In yoga, it's what you do for yourself that matters. Yoga gives you the tools to help you change, and you might start to feel better the first time you try practicing. You may also notice that the more you commit to practice, the more you benefit. This results in 3 things. You get involved in your own care, you discover that your involvement gives you the power to effect change, and seeing that you can effect change gives you hope, and hope itself can be healing. 37. It supports your connective tissue. As you read all the ways yoga improves your health, you probably noticed a lot of overlap. That's because They are intensely interwoven. Change your posture and you change the way you breathe. Change your breathing and you change your nervous system. This is one of the greatest lessons of yoga. Everything is connected. Your hip bone to your ankle bone, you to your community to the world. This interconnection is vital to understanding yoga. This holistic system simultaneously taps into many mechanisms that have additive and even multiplicative effects. This synergy may be the most important way of all that yoga heals. Guidelines for yogic practices. Before the practice, Saucha means cleanliness, an important prerequisite for yogic practice. It includes cleanliness of surroundings, body and mind. Yogic practice should be performed in a calm and quiet atmosphere with a relaxed body and mind. Yogic practice should be done on an empty stomach or light stomach. Consume small amount of honey in lukewarm water if you feel weak. Bladder and bowels should be empty before starting yogic practices. A mattress, yoga mat or folded blanket should be used for the practice. Light and comfortable cotton clothes are preferred to facilitate easy movement of the body. Yoga should not be performed in a state of exhaustion, illness, in a hurry or in acute stress conditions. In case of chronic disease or pain or cardiac problems, a physician or a yoga therapist should be consulted prior to performing yoga practices. Yoga experts should be consulted before doing yogic practices during pregnancy and menstruation. Now, during the practice sessions should start with a prayer or invocation as it creates a conducive environment to relax the mind. Yogic practices should be performed slowly in a relaxed manner with awareness of the body and breath. Do not hold the breath unless it is specially mentioned to do so during the practice. Breathing should be always through the nostrils unless instructed otherwise. Do not hold body tightly or jerk the body at any point of time. Perform the practices according to your own capacity. It takes some time to get good results, so persistent and regular practice is very essential. There are contraindications or limitations for each yoga practice, and such contraindications should always be kept in mind. Yoga session should end with meditation, deep silence or Shantipada. After practice, bath may be taken only after 20 to 30 minutes of practice. Food may be consumed only after 20 to 30 minutes of practice. Can yoga cure diseases? Yoga cannot cure anything. The healing work is done by nature. Yoga exercises can only help to remove impurities and obstructions so that nature may be given a chance to accomplish her task successfully. The idea that physical ailments of men and women cannot be cured by physical exercises is very ancient in our country, and authorities of medicine in ancient India like Chakracharya and Sasruta prescribed particular exercises suitable for various disorders. Describing his treatment for diabetes, Charaka says that the disease is caused by want of exercise. According to him, it could be cured by prescribing to the patient physical exercises of various types suitable to his or her constitution, by rubbing their body with various substances prescribed in the texts, by massaging the limbs in a scientific manner, by plunge and shower baths, by sponging and spraying, by the application of paste, etc. Let us now summarize the important points. Yoga is a great dynamo of power that you have to tap to become a master of yourself and the world. In fact, you have a great power and energy within, provided you can exploit it and make your own to utilize it when required. Yoga is a complete art. It is a science that is capable of giving you physical and mental health. When you have a sound mind and healthy body, you are able to enjoy yourself fully. When you are the master of yourself, you don't have to divulge in any kind of vices. Practicing yoga has become very popular among the masses as a way of getting fitness, peace and happy living. Those who practice yoga will derive complete benefit from it. Thank you for watching the session on benefits of yoga. See you soon with a new topic. Till then, goodbye.